This is a 1910 Ouija board. This is one of the original by William Flood. This one's the style that was produced around 1910. Now, there was different styles with different moons and suns. They made many of them before the William Flood had died, and the Parker brothers had took it over. And now this patchette, I think, is a later made patchette. The earlier one probably got lost or damaged. Now this board was gifted to me. I took it in. It was found in an attic of an old house. And someone said, I don't want this in my house, and I don't want to destroy it because it's so old. So I took the board in. I've had it hanging on my wall for years and years. And it's a very cool piece. This actual board was actually featured in the Walton, one of the very early Walton episodes in the general store. It was in the background in one of the episodes of the Waltons. But it's been a very unique piece. I don't hardly see many of the original ones anymore. Most people's burn them, or they've got damaged. Now, I think this patchette is maybe 50s. I'm not real sure the era that it's from. It's just the basic. But I'm pretty sure it's not the original, because it was a different style, one that they had during the time this board came out. But this is what one looks like. It does have some damage on it, but for its age, it's in very nice shape. These are like a plywood, and most of these do come apart. So if you do find one in an old house and there's any moisture or anything, they'll generally come apart. There's usually like a veneer on the front and a veneer on the back, and then you've got a type of board on the inside. Now this one, it's probably been played a lot over the years, but it's very old. It's a very unique piece. Now I think some of them, they even changed the trademark right here on some of the other ones that was produced later on. But this one's in fairly decent shape. You can see the veneer is trying to come up on some places on it, but it's still flat to the touch. But this is what one looks like. The back of it would have had an instructions on how to use the game, but now this one, you can tell most of the directions has been wore off. Looks like kids has laid it on probably a hard table or a wooden floor or something. Somebody at one time has used it to cut with. But it's amazing that this piece has survived. Now, some of these, you can see the clear on them doesn't go on the back. The back seems to be just a raw finish in most places on it. So it looks like they spent most of the time putting the clear on the front of these boards. I've not seen too many in person, so I don't know a whole lot. But most of these looks like the veneer has been sealed on the top. But they're generally a very yellow wood. The letters and stuff's fairly big on it. But it's been a unique piece. A lot of people asks me questions and stuff about it. I usually have it hanging on my wall, and it's a pretty neat conversation piece. Not too superstitious, so it doesn't bother me. Some people's very superstitious, and it seems to bother them. And I generally take these in if anybody doesn't want one. But I generally just hang them on the wall as a decorational piece. They're getting more and more rare to find. William Flood made these in Baltimore, Maryland, in the U.S. back in the day, and they've been a board game that's been around for a long time, but it's something that's getting more and more rare. Some people collect them, and some people is actually scared of them, but I generally keep this one on the wall. It's a conversational piece. It's neat having it around, and just a cool old piece from back in the day. A lot of people now has started replicating these by wood burning this style back onto a piece of wood and making a replica style of these. But they are neat to have around and pretty cool to hang on the wall if you're not superstitious. This is what one looks like generally up close. Some of them is just in such a bad shape that you can't hardly read the letters on them. Some of them I've seen, but this one was actually in a paper box. Somebody had it in a paper box, and it got buried in the ash in the attic of an old house. The ash kept it dry and kept it clean, and generally all of your really nice stuff that's found in attics is usually preserved by stove ash that's came off the chimneys, and it's filled the attics full of ash from the old fireplaces, and it usually keeps most antiques preserved that's found in old attics, and that's how this one survived. If it wasn't for that, it'd probably done been rotted and gone. But that is what one looks like.